Did you know that polar bears have black skin? Yes, you heard it right. Beneath that thick white fur, their skin is as dark as night. An intriguing start, isn't it? Well, brace yourself as we dive into the icy wilderness of the polar regions, exploring the fascinating world of two iconic inhabitants, the penguins and the polar bears. In the next few minutes, we're going to embark on an engaging journey, comparing and contrasting the survival strategies of these two remarkable species. We'll delve into their unique adaptations that enable them to withstand the savage cold, their ingenious feeding strategies that help them thrive in these harsh environments, and their intriguing reproductive habits that ensure the continuation of their species. So, strap in, folks. It's time to leave the comfort of your warm homes and venture into the frozen wilderness. So get ready to dive into the icy world of these incredible creatures. Imagine living in a freezer. Sounds impossible, right? But that's just another day for penguins and polar bears. These two iconic species of the polar regions have evolved marvelous adaptations to not just survive, but thrive in conditions that would freeze most creatures solid. Let's start with polar bears. These icy giants have two layers of fur, a dense undercoat topped with guard hairs that can be up to 15 centimeters long. This double fur lining acts like a thermal blanket, keeping the bear's body heat from escaping. In addition, polar bears are quite chubby, and that's not just because they love their seal dinners. They have a thick layer of blubber up to 11 centimeters that not only serves as an energy reserve, but also provides an extra layer of insulation. It's like they're wearing a natural wetsuit that keeps them warm, even when they're swimming in sub-zero Arctic waters. Now let's turn our attention to the other side of the globe, to our tuxedoed friends, the penguins. Penguins don't have layers of fur or blubber to keep them warm. So how do they manage to stay toasty in the Antarctic chill? Penguins have a nifty biological trick up their flippers called a counter-current heat exchange system. This means that the warm blood flowing from their bodies to their flippers, which are in constant contact with the cold, is cooled down by the blood returning from the flippers to the body. This system ensures that the core body temperature remains stable, thus preventing heat loss. It's not just about the physical adaptations, though. Both polar bears and penguins lead a lifestyle that reduces exposure to the cold. Polar bears are largely solitary and spend most of their time in the water or on the ice, where their fur and blubber provide maximum protection. Penguins, on the other hand, group together in large colonies, sharing body heat and reducing individual exposure to the cold. So, while we're bundling up in sweaters and scarves, these creatures are comfortably strolling in their icy homes. Living in the polar regions isn't just about staying warm, it's also about finding enough to eat. Let's dive into the icy waters to discuss the feeding strategies of these incredible creatures. Shall we start with the polar bear? The polar bear is a patient predator, an embodiment of endurance. It spends most of its time hunting for seals, its primary food source. Its strategy is often one of waiting by a seal's breathing hole in the ice. It can wait for hours, even days in temperatures well below freezing to catch its prey. When a seal pops up to breathe, the polar bear strikes with lightning speed. This is a game of patience, of waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. Now let's waddle over to the penguins. Penguins are talented divers, capable of reaching depths of up to 600 feet to catch their food. They feed on a diet of krill, fish and squid. Unlike the polar bear, penguins hunt in groups, and they often rely on teamwork to find food. They use their excellent vision to spot prey in the water, and their streamlined bodies to chase it down. Their hunting strategy is a mix of agility, speed and cooperation. But it's not always smooth sailing, or should I say smooth diving for these creatures. Sometimes food can be scarce, especially in the harsh winter months. They must travel long distances, often facing treacherous weather and dangerous predators to find food. The journey can be grueling, but it's a necessity for survival. In the polar regions, every meal is a testament to the resilience of these creatures. It's a testament to their adaptation, their endurance, and their unyielding will to survive. It's not just about finding food, it's about outsmarting the environment. It's about overcoming the odds. In the polar regions, every meal isn't just a meal. It's a victory, it's a triumph, it's a testament to the sheer will to survive. It's a game of hunger, a game of survival. And in this game, the stakes are high. In the polar regions, every meal is hard-earned. Now let's talk about something that warms the heart even in the coldest of places: love. In the icy expanse of the polar regions, romance is a matter of survival, not just a sweet notion. Penguins and polar bears have fascinating courtship and reproductive habits, all tailored to thrive in their freezing environment. Let's start with our tuxedoed friends, the penguins. For them, the courtship begins with a dance. A male penguin performs an elaborate display, waddling and bowing to catch the attention of a prospective mate. If he's successful, the pair will form a bond that lasts the entire breeding season, and sometimes for life. But the real challenge begins post-courting. In the harsh Antarctic winter, the female lays a single egg and then ventures out to sea for nourishment. The male, in a display of dedication, incubates the egg, balancing it on his feet for 2 long months without food or water. Now let's turn to the polar bears. Unlike penguins, polar bears are solitary creatures. They come together only for mating, usually in the early spring when the ice is thickest. After a courtship that involves a lot of playful wrestling, the female will dig a den in the snow where she'll give birth to 1 or 2 cubs. What's remarkable is the mother's fasting period during this time. She goes without food for as long as 8 months, relying on her fat reserves to nurse her cubs. Both these creatures face immense challenges in raising their young ones. Whether it's the male penguin's long, foodless vigil or the polar bear mother's intensive fasting period, their sacrifices underscore the harsh reality of life in the polar regions. But it is through these trials that they ensure the survival of their species, nurturing the next generation to face the icy world head-on. Indeed, raising a family in the polar regions is no small feat. So who's the ultimate survivor, the polar bear or the penguin? That's the question we've been wrestling with. We've delved into the icy depths of their lives, exploring how they defy the cold, their feeding strategies, and even their love lives. Now let's wrap it up. Penguins, those tuxedo-wearing swimmers, are built for survival in the Antarctic. Their dense feathers and layer of blubber shield them from the bone-chilling cold. They're expert divers, plunging into icy waters to snatch up their fishy meals. Their communal living and parenting strategies help them protect their precious eggs and chicks against the harsh elements and predators. Then there's the polar bear, the king of the Arctic. With their thick fur and fat, they're insulated against the freezing temperatures. Their wide paws are perfect for navigating the icy terrain and swimming in freezing waters. These solitary hunters are patient and powerful, capable of catching seals, their primary food source. But it's not just about who's the strongest or the most adapted. Survival is also about resilience in the face of change. And these polar champions are facing a challenge that they didn't evolve to tackle: climate change. The warming of our planet is shrinking the polar bear's hunting grounds and the penguin's icy homes. Food sources are becoming scarcer, breeding grounds are disappearing, and survival is becoming more difficult. The consequences of climate change are real and pressing for both these iconic creatures. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? These animals have survived for thousands of years in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. Yet today they're threatened by the actions of another species, us. In the end, both penguins and polar bears are champions of survival in their own right. They've adapted to their icy homes in remarkable ways, honing their survival skills over countless generations. But now, they need our help to continue their survival story. Let's ensure that they remain the iconic survivors of the polar regions for generations to come. Well, that's quite a journey we've been on, right? Together, we've traversed the frozen landscapes of the polar regions, witnessing the remarkable survival strategies of penguins and polar bears. We've delved into the icy depths of their world, uncovering the unique adaptations that allow them to thrive in such extreme conditions. From their specialized feeding habits, ensuring they never go hungry in the harshest of environments, to their fascinating reproductive behaviors, these creatures truly are masters of survival in the frozen wilderness. The resilience and adaptability of these species are a testament to the wonders of evolution. But remember, their survival also hinges on the delicate balance of their ecosystems, which are increasingly threatened by climate change. So let's take inspiration from these incredible polar survivors and do our part in protecting their habitats. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let's spread the word about these incredible polar survivors.